So don't fall for a logging system. Don't fall for a logging system hustle, by the way. I just said this en route to upstairs. There's a mole on my right hand penguin duck birthmark. I'm Alexander Surya Jayani. If you haven't figured it out yet, I'm the victim. And I'm the victim of people who are, it's my life, but I'm a victim of people pretending my life is theirs. And we're stealing money and property, computer games, and all sorts of jazz that was really mine that I never knew about because I'd never seen this game, never seen this world, didn't know anything about this jazz, these gambling rings, these betting mule gifts, and God knows what else, as well as this Illuminati jazz. So there's kids who knew about this that and knew I didn't know. So they were stealing stuff and stealing games and stealing this and that, and then creating some headache for me because they got caught stealing and pretending my life was there and got caught being posers and frauds or something with by using my data to win stuff and get games and God knows what else they've been doing. Technology, and access to some idea ring where they've been selling my ideas illegally in them. So I'm a victim of all these people who have been pretending my data and ideas are theirs. And then they've been accessing all these gifts and computer games and all these things and running them illegally while giving this false impression I've received these things when I've never seen these things and never received anything. So I'm the victim of the poser fraud army who are stealing things that are really mine and then running them illegally and maybe using imaging hustles, pretending it's me using them or something, and showing up places and using their shrouds, pretending I'm places I'm not. But I'm always just at home trying to figure out what the hell is going on because all I have is telepathy to operate with. I'm the guy who operates in the dark. I just have telepathy alone and then kind of have to assess and assimilate what's going on or analyze. And it's pretty difficult with limited information. As I've never seen any of this, I just hear about it all the time and different stuff. Granted that what I do know is the technology is real because I have empirical data and my senses are extremely reliable. I know what I see, I know what I hear, I know what I taste, I know what I touch it, I know what I smell, etc. But so I'm very aware of these things. So I know what I feel, and I also know what these guys retaliate to, and they're not trying to reinforce a delusion. Let me put it that way. These guys have an emotional attachment to their retaliation. If it was for an experiment to reinforce delusions, why the emotional attachment? What, to make it look more real? Get the hell out of here. And if it's an experiment, is the experiment over? Why are they still stalking me? Why are they still trying to steal my data? What are they trying to do? Let's wake up here. These kids actually retaliate and react. And like I said, auditory hallucinations. Don't take your insults towards them personally and start hacking you or hacking your phones or firing weapons at you from a fucking satellite. Key point, like I've said numerous times. Nor do they start contacting people you know and slandering you to them. So key point. That's how I know they're not auditory hallucinations. So that's a key point. And they get really bent out of shape when I talk shit to them. And supposedly start contacting people I know covertly and others. And they also start hacking me, breaking my computer, breaking my phones, and doing all sorts of jazz. So pretty sure they're not auditory hallucinations and it's synthetic telepathy because auditory hallucinations don't react. They don't contact people you know and start slandering you to them either. Key point. Amongst other people. Or whatever the hell else they're doing. So key point. But yeah, I'm the victim of all these people who have been pretending my ideas, data, etc. are theirs, and they've been trying to murder me, kill me, and frame me to cover it up. And then they've been running stuff illegally while trying to frame me for whatever the hell they're doing while running stuff illegally. So that's a key point. And I said this en route to my computer and upstairs while I was outside drinking this coffee. So key point. And don't fall for any political abuses of psychiatry hustles or misrepresentation of data or evidence. Be like, he's psychotic. I'm not psychotic. But they love to use manufactured evidence and misrepresented evidence, misrepresented video, manufactured screen surveillance, manufactured home surveillance, manufactured audio to peddle false portrayal of mental illness. So don't fall for it. They love that hustle. So if they give you stuff you don't know how to authenticate, always make sure you authenticate anything these kids give you because they are you need a machine gun around them type desperation. That's how desperate they are. They're looking at multi-trillion-dollar lawsuits, life in prison, and potentially the death penalty. So as I said, these people have more than conflicts of interest. So always authenticate anything from people who have more than conflicts of interest, especially when it's a multi-trillion-dollar lawsuit, life in prison, and the death penalty. As some of these kids are terrorists. Bet my life on it. As they became terrorists trying to steal whatever they stole from me. And they've committed trillions of dollars in crimes trying to abuse me into silence about this. Bet my life on it. So this is key. So always authenticate anything you're given by people with more than conflicts of interest, especially people stealing my ideas, data, stuff from my life, exploiting me as a victim of implantation, etc., as they're looking at a big money lawsuit and life in prison and the death penalty. So I'd never trust anything people with more than conflicts of interest give you without authenticating it. Never trust something, oh, it's experimental and it's proprietary, I can't show you, but trust it. And I'll be like, well, we're going to have to subpoena this. And then we're going to subpoena your technology, and then we'll see if there's any hustles or this or that. So always make sure, rule of thumb, always authenticate anything and anything these kids give you, especially when you know they have more than conflicts of interest, looking at life in prison, death penalty, multi-trillion-dollar lawsuits, and God knows what else. Because they've also been robbing other people besides me. So key point. So that's another addition to another component to add to their list of more than conflicts of interest in the form of betting, manipulation, and more. Praise Jesus. Key point.